everyone, it's me again. My name's Khang. I'm 7 years old. I live in the city and stay at Leguidon Primary School. Nice to meet you. Today, I'm going to talk about Oxford Read and Discover Level 5 Great Migrations from Chapter 6 to Chapter 8. Chapter 6 Ocean Migrations. Many fish migrate around the oceans, and some ocean mammals migrate too. Some make very long journeys.
Very long journeys. Whales. Many whales, like humpback whales and gray whales, migrate to polar oceans in summer.
Many whales, like humpback whales and gray whales, migrate to polar oceans in summer.
Here they can find lots of their favorite food.
Here they can find lots of their favorite food.
Krill.
Krill.
Young whales cannot keep warm enough in very cold oceans. So in winter, the whales migrate back to warmer, tropical oceans to breed.
Some whales cannot keep warm enough in very cold oceans, and so in winter, the whales migrate back to warmer, tropical oceans to breed.
Humpback whales migrate further than any other mammal, up to 17,000 kilometers every year.
Humpback whales migrate further than any other mammals, up to 17,000 kilometers every year.
They migrate for the first time with their mothers.
They migrate the first time with their mothers.
And then they usually make the same journey every year for the rest of their lives.
And then they usually make the same journey every year for the rest of their lives.
During their journeys, humpback whales make special sounds, like a song.
During their journeys, humpback whales make special sounds, like a song.
All humpback whales in the same part of the world sing almost the same song, and it changes every year.
All humpback whales in the same parts of the world sing almost the same song, and it changes every year.
Emperor penguins.
Emperor penguins.
In summer in the Antarctic, emperor penguins hunt for krill, fish, and squid in the ocean. In March, when the ice gets thicker, adult penguins migrate up to 200 kilometers across the ice to their breeding places.
Okay, it's a bit long the day. It's just my mother, so I'll read it. Emperor penguins. In summer in the Arctic, emperor penguins hunt for krill, fish, and squid in the oceans. In March, when the ice gets thicker, adult penguins migrate up to 200 kilometers across the ice to their breeding place.
After the females have laid their eggs, they go back to the ocean to feed.
After the females have laid their eggs, they go back to the oceans to feed.
The males keep the eggs warm on their feet.
The males keep the eggs warm on their feet.
They often have to wait for up to 16 weeks for the eggs to hatch, and they do not eat during this time.
They often have to wait up to 16 weeks for the eggs to hatch, and they do not eat during this time.
Discover. Penguins cannot walk well, so
Penguins cannot walk well.
they often push themselves across the ice on their stomachs.
So they often push themselves across the ice on their stomach.
Fish.
Fish.
Some fish move away from coral reefs at night to
Some fish move away from coral reefs at night to feed.
Then they go back there in the day
Then they go back there in the day
because they can hide easily from predators.
because they can easily. Then they go back there in the day because they can hide easily from predators under the coral.
Under the coral. Other reef fish make longer migrations to breed.
Other reef fish make longer migrations to breed.
They lay their eggs near the edge of the reef, so
They lay their eggs near the edge of the reef so that ocean currents will carry the eggs away from predators.
that ocean currents will carry the eggs away from predators. Some bigger fish, like tuna,
Some bigger fish like tuna
make very long journeys
make very long journeys,
of up to 10,500
up to 10,500
kilometers
kilometers
between the places where they feed and breed.
kilometers between the place where they feed and breed. So 10,500 isn't that 17,000. The last page of one chapter. Then we are reading 3 chapters. That's long.
Vertical migration.
Vertical migrations.
Animal plankton are very small animals that live in the ocean. Every day, they make vertical migrations. They migrate up and down.
Animal plankton are very small animals that live in the oceans. Every day they make vertical migrations. They migrate up and down.
They move up the ocean at night.
They move up the ocean at night.
Then they move down the ocean
Then the ocean
in the day.
in the day.
Jellyfish, squid,
Jellyfish, squid,
and small fish that eat plankton
and small fish that eat plankton
migrate up and down the ocean with
migration up and down
them.
the oceans with them.
Bigger animals like sharks, dolphins, and sea turtles eat the small fish, so they follow too.
Bigger animals like sharks, dolphins, and sea turtles eat the small fish, so they follow too. Every day, billions of animals move up and down the ocean. Bluefin tuna, squid, a humpback whale. Humpback whales migrations. Stomach. Okay, let me just move this up a bit. Okay, let me
Chapter 7. Going home to breed.
Chapter 7, going home to breed.
Many animals migrate to breed.
Many animals migration to breed.
Some make long and difficult journeys
make long and difficult journeys
to get to special breeding places.
to get to difficult. Some make long and difficult journeys to get to special breeding place.
Salmon.
Salmon.
Most water animals live either in salt water or in fresh water.
Most water animals live either in salt water or in fresh water. Wait for me a second. I'm a bit struggling for that moment. Okay, so I'm back. Sorry for leaving. Okay, let's continue.
Salmon are unusual.
Salmons are unusual.
Salmon eggs hatch in freshwater streams, and then the salmon migrate down rivers to the ocean.
Salmon eggs hatch in freshwater streams and then the salmons migrate down rivers to the ocean.
When they get to the ocean, salmon often make long journeys.
Salmons often make long journeys to a place where there is lots of food.
To places where there is lots of food. They stay in the ocean. For up to 6 years.
They stay in the ocean for up to 6 years.
Amazingly,
the
salmon then swim back up rivers into the streams where they hatch.
Amazingly, the salmons can swim up back rivers into streams where they hatch.
Some salmon travel hundreds of kilometers.
Some salmon travel hundreds of kilometers.
They use smell to find their way home.
They use smell to find their ways home.
They go back to breed. And most species of salmon then die. Discover. Before sockeye salmon breed, they change color from silver to red.
Before sockeye salmon breed, they change color from silver to red.
Dangerous
For
salmon. It's tiring and dangerous for salmon to migrate up rivers because the water moves them in the opposite direction.
It's tiring and dangerous for salmon to migrate up rivers because the water moves them in the opposite directions.
Because salmon usually migrate at the same time.
Because salmon usually migrate up at the same time.
Each year, predators like birds, bigger fish, and bears wait for them. Salmon are also in danger when trees are cut down. or when rivers are polluted.
All rivers are polluted.
Because this damages their
habitats.
Dams can stop salmon migrating.
Dams can stop salmon's migrating, or they can kill or hurt them.
Or they can kill or hurt them. Dams are often built with fish ladders.
Dams are often built with fish ladders so that salmon can jump up from pool to pool.
So that salmon can jump up from pool to pool. Eels. Eels migrate from fresh water to salt water.
Eels migrate from fresh water to salt water. What is going on?
To have their young. Eel larvae move across the ocean with ocean currents.
In the current oceans.
And young eels then migrate up rivers and streams. After many years
in
rivers, the eels grow into adults. Then they migrate
back to the oceans to breed.
They become silver.
So
that they are hidden from ocean predators. Some eels migrate up to 8,000 kilometers.
Some eels migrate up to 8,000 kilometers across the oceans before breeding.
Discover.
Some eels swimming in a river. Discover! A bear hunting salmon.
When adult eels move from fresh water to salt water, their stomachs become smaller. And their eyes become much bigger. Sea turtles. Sea turtles migrate thousands of kilometers
Sea turtles migrate thousands of kilometers to breed.
Scientists think that many turtles go back every year to the same place to lay their eggs.
Scientists think that many turtles go back every year to the same place to lay their eggs.
How do they know where to go? Scientists think that they follow Earth's magnetic field.
Scientists think that they follow Earth's magnificent field.
The turtles lay their eggs on land.
The turtles lay their eggs on land.
And they cover them with sand. They then swim away to the places where they feed. When the eggs hatch, the young turtles dig their way out of the sand.
When the eggs hatch, the young turtles dig their way out of the sand.
They then go to the ocean and swim away.
Young sea turtles going to the ocean. Okay, so we now need to go to our last chapter. I'm tired of this. It's been 19 minutes, bruh. So, let Let me take this off for a moment. Yeah.
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8.
Changing migrations.
Changing migrations.
Animals that migrate move through different habitats.
Animals that migrate move from different habitats.
And they need different types of food in different places.
And they need different types of food in different habitats.
Because of this,
because of this, they are in danger from things that change in the world around them.
they are in danger from things that change in the world around them. Problems for migrants.
Problems for migrants.
Many migrants, like tuna, cod, birds, and sea turtles, are in danger from too much fishing or hunting.
Many migrations like tuna, cod, birds, and sea turtles are in danger from too much fishing or hunting.
Roads, power lines, and wind turbines stop other animals from migrating.
And wind turbine, roads, power lines, and wind turbines stop other animals from migrating.
Also,
Also,
people damage the habitats of many migrants when they cut down trees, take out ponds, build dams across rivers, or build fences around land.
Also, people damage the habitats of many migrants when they cut down trees, take out ponds, build dams across rivers, or build fences around land.
Pollution damages habitats too.
Pollutions damage habitats too.
Discover! Every year, about 100,000 albatrosses are killed by fishing hooks.
Every year, about 1,000 albatrosses are killed by fishing hooks.
The climate is changing.
The climate is changing.
Earth is getting too warm because our vehicles, factories, and power stations are making too many gases like carbon dioxide.
Earth is getting too warm because our vehicles, factories, and power stations are making too many gases like carbon dioxide.
The climate is changing.
The climate
changing.
is changing. The climate is changing.
So there are more storms.
So there are more storms.
And deserts are getting bigger.
And deserts are getting bigger.
There is less ice on polar oceans.
There's less ice on polar oceans.
And ocean currents are changing.
And current oceans are changing.
Journeys are now more dangerous for migrants.
Journeys are now more dangerous for migrants.
It's also more difficult for animals to reach the right place at the right time for feeding and breeding.
It's also more difficult for animals to reach the right place at the right time for feeding and breeding.
Scientists think that many animal species will stop migrating, or they will migrate to new places because the climate is changing.
Scientists think the animal species will stop migrating, or they will migrate to new places because the climate is changing. Discover!
Many birds that migrate north for summer, like the willow warbler, are now staying there for longer than usual.
Many birds that migrate north for summer, like the willow warbler, are now staying there for longer than usual.
Some birds are not migrating back south.
Some birds are not migrating back south.
Polar bears in danger.
Polar bears in danger.
Polar bears live on the ice in the Arctic.
Polar bears live on the ice in the Arctic in winter.
Here they can hunt seals,
Here they can hunt seals,
their main food. In summer, there is not enough ice for hunting, so polar bears migrate south to the land.
In summer, there's not enough ice for hunting, so polar bears migrate south to the land.
Because the climate is changing, there is now less ice on the ocean,
There's now less ice on the ocean.
and the ice is melting earlier in spring.
And the ice is melting earlier in spring.
So in winter, the bears have less time on the ice for catching seals.
So in winter, the bears have less time on the ice for catching seals.
Also, it's sometimes difficult for the bears to migrate to land because there is less ice to walk on, and they often have to swim too far across the ocean.